Hello, everyone. Ben Bryce, joined by Teddy Tarvis on what he would say is September 1st. Welcome to October, everyone. Let's get us started here, Teddy. What are we seeing? What's going on? These markets seem to be a little bit excited. What are we seeing out there?
Yeah, seeing a lot of support, especially in the corn and the wheat today. Got a lot of news here. It seems like there's a lot of ports that are going on sort of a hiatus. A lot of workers are striking, but I don't think it's having a big effect on the grains. We saw this morning that a lot of the grain that does get shipped out of the U.S. is actually going out of the different ports than where they're striking at.
Right.
So
On Mississippi and Pacific Northwest,
exactly.
mostly, not so much on the East Coast side of things, where we're seeing a lot of these
So
strikes.
not having a huge effect, but I think just from the grain stocks report yesterday, you are seeing a little bit of follow through from the corn, obviously with the um, numbers being a little bit lower. That is very helpful to the market. So there is some rain that should be in the mix for Brazil in the 6 to 10 days. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But yeah, for today, things are looking pretty good.
Yeah, it seems like right now these markets are excited. End of the month, end of the quarter, beginning of the week, yesterday. And it seems like we're having a little bit of follow through here. Funds may be buying back. We are seeing some big purchases. You do have a lot going on too in the Middle East. So you are seeing crude oil and energies in general a lot higher. I think crude oil's at $3 higher, or maybe a little bit more at this point. But you do have a lot of tensions rising between Israel, Hamas, and now Iran's getting in the mix, saying they're going to shoot some missiles over there. So who knows what's going to happen? A lot of stuff's happening. Things are moving very quickly, and harvest is underway here. So while we are seeing these higher prices, and maybe for a while there, you look at the economic value of these grains, maybe we were oversold a little bit, underpriced. But now we've gotten this rally. From I think it was the 26th of August for this December corn, you're trading, in the mid 380s, and today you're knocking on 430. So you've had a big move here, guys, and we knew the yields were going to be big in the summer. That was part of the reason why they came down. But now we're in the middle of harvest, or we're getting harvest started at least. The yields are there. Guys are liking it. Sure, there's variables. I mean, it varies, field to field or even in the field, depending on where you're at in the field. But it seems like the yields are going to be there. So you got to ask yourself, while we see these rallies, what has changed? Fundamentally, what has changed? Are we seeing more demand come in? Maybe a little bit. We saw some flash sales this morning, but you take a step back and look at the world situation. We had a lot of questions about whether Brazil, South America was going to get rain. Well, it looks like they're going to be getting some. And planting in dry ground isn't the worst thing in the world. Kind of depends on how that comes up later on with the growing. So with that, something else that's exciting too is this livestock market. We're seeing some big moves out of there. I think we're up almost $1 at least right now, as we go into noon, where can that be sustained? I mean, the Dow and the S&P are getting hammered today. So where do you think this cattle market could be headed?
Yeah, it's a good question. You just kind of touched on it briefly. The Dow being down so much, I think that is a slight effect of the strike that I was mentioning earlier. So yeah, box beef, we got the numbers a little bit higher, but nothing too crazy. And just the last few weeks, what we've been seeing, we got conflicting stories. We have box beef being real low, but then you have cash trades being steady to higher. So long term, I would like to think that this move is going to just continue to go a little bit lower. But in the meantime, I would like to think that we're going to try to inch a little bit higher, which is where I would say this is a good spot to get some protection on. So just something to keep in mind. Box beef is at, 8-month lows now. So just something to be aware of as we go into the fourth quarter now.
Well, the other thing too, you mentioned that you have your cash sales that have been good and your box beef that's been pretty weak. Now, this cattle market can kind of chop around and do its own thing, but once those two variables line up together, where you have lower cash sales, lower box beef, or higher cash sales and stronger box beef, it seems like that's what really gets that market moving in one direction. So keep your eye out for that. If you start seeing those two variables trending together, do something, protect yourself. Like Teddy said, this might be a good area to maybe consider getting some protection on for a few months down the road, especially with the uncertainty with the election around the corner. We're about 40 days away from that right now. So keep your eyes out, guys. There's a lot happening. Give us a call. We're available anytime at 1-800-2-MARKET. That's 1-800-262-7538. Teddy, thank you for joining me as always. And you guys, thank you for watching. Appreciate it very much. Looking forward to talking to you all very soon. Have a good one.